And we're back with another episode of Haunted Indiana, Ghosts and Strange Phenomenon of the Hoosier State, by James A. Willis. Tonight's tale, The Blue Lady. In the roaring 20s, Pendleton Pike, through McCordsville, was a hotbed of activity, with everyone from locals to gangsters traveling up and down it. So when the Plantation Club was erected at the corner of West Pendleton Pike and Carroll Road, it soon became the place to be. Before long, gangsters moved in, attracting all sorts of shady dealings, from illegal gambling and alcohol smuggling to prostitution. It is even said that John Dillinger himself would stop in from time to unwind when he was between jobs. Despite, or maybe because of, all the illegal activity, the Plantation Club thrived and soon began to expand. The property grew to include almost 50 acres. Several small cabins were erected around a lake on the property so that the ladies of the evening who worked the club could entertain their clients away from the prying eyes of the general public. It was at one of these cabins where the legend of the Blue Lady was born. According to the legend, one of the prostitutes who worked there was entertaining a client inside one of the cabins when something went wrong. Dreadfully wrong. Exactly what happened is unknown. But when it was over, the young woman was dead. Word quickly spread among the other prostitutes that if they knew what was good for them, they would keep their mouths shut about the murder and just go back to business as usual. The murdered girl, or rather her ghost, had other ideas. Almost immediately after the woman's death, her ghost began making appearances in and around the cabin. Stranger still, her ghost always appeared to be bathed in a weird blue mist. Not wanting to get into any trouble, the other working girls quietly began avoiding the cabin and would only speak in hushed tones among themselves about the Blue Lady. Once alcohol became legal again, and the FBI started cracking down on gangsters, fewer people started showing up at the Plantation Club. Eventually, it fell into disrepair and was abandoned. In the 1960s, Chuck Nickerson saw an opportunity in the property and purchased it, turning it into an events facility that could hold up to 35,000 people. Nickerson even had rides installed throughout the property and built a pavilion alongside the lake near the infamous Blue Lady cabin. Apparently, the Blue Lady approved of this pavilion because her ghost started showing up there, much to the chagrin, or in some cases, excitement of guests. In January 1988, Donnie and Michael Nickerson purchased the entire property with the intent of restoring it the way it was during the days of the Plantation Club. After several major renovations, the property was once again open to the public, this time under the name Casinos. It would appear that restoring the property to the style of the Roaring Twenties made the ghosts from that era feel right at home. That's because shortly after it reopened, strange things began happening inside Casinos. Doors opened and closed on their own. Glasses and other objects were moved without being touched. And footsteps echoed through the building. when no one else was around. As for the Blue Lady, she continued to be sighted on a regular basis, although she preferred to hang out near the lake as opposed to coming inside the building. Casinos, too, would eventually close, and several years ago, all of the buildings, including the Blue Lady cabin, were knocked down to make way for a golf driving range. Even that facility was short-lived, and today nothing remains at the site except a huge vacant lot, a small lake, and a ghost. Even though all the structures are gone, from time to time a ghostly woman surrounded by a weird blue mist is seen standing near the edge of the lake. I would like to thank you for joining me. All the stuff's in the description box, and I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys and gals later.